Hello, how are you? I'm trying to figure out what to do with my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday on my readings, do video reads, that sort of thing. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I'm like, man, I used to do other things, support group things, and I would talk about different issues. But I think, um, I guess I can continue that. But I think what I'm going to do is try to do a Q&A because I've been running in my mind that there's answers that need to be pushed out because a lot of people are arguing, right? The left is arguing, black people are arguing. I don't understand black people. They're having the same argument they was having when I was born. The same damn arguments. But we're living in a time when we need to evolve as a species. We need to evolve as beings. We're really at that time. All these little things that we're arguing about should have been settled. And the answers are really easy. And people used to tell me, Tim, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Then 2020 happened. And you could see, oh shit, Tim. Some of the shit you was talking about, they're doing it. Yeah, they're doing it. And they could have did it. And then they stopped doing it. But they showed you it could be done. For a whole year, you were getting a universal basic income either through unemployment or through stimulus checks for people at the lower end of the economic scale. So they ended poverty basically for a year. Somebody came out with a study and said that was the best part of the stimulus package was the part that people got directly. The part that went to the big businesses and the PPP loans and all of that, some of that went to some small business people. I heard that there was people who filed LLCs to get PPP money. I filed an LLC for a different reason because I needed to create an institution to put my work inside of, to have my work there, to have a foundation for my work. And maybe I have to leave it to somebody to take care of. So I did that for that. And our accountant for another business we had, he saw that I was teaching online and said, you need to file an LLC for this. So I did. But some people file LLCs to get the PPP loans. But that part, the part that went to wealthy people, that part didn't do anything for the economy. But the part that we got, the stimulus checks, the child tax credit, that went straight back into the economy. And that was 15% of the stimulus. And I think it raised the economy 40% or went back into the economy 40%. That's what was reported on one of these blogs. But I'd say that to say solutions are really easy. Solutions are really simple. We just have to do them. And so I'm going to do a question and answer kind of thing. And the question for this first one is, how do we deal with the ruling class? Because that's really fundamentally what we're talking about here. We have a society where there are an elite group of people who make all the rules. They run all your institutions, your educational institutions. They run all your businesses, of course. Even if you have your own business, we're on platforms run by them. They run your businesses, they run real estate, all of that stuff. They run in the entertainment and the art industry. So they run all of society. And we have basically allowed this because you can't be a ruling class, especially in such a small numbers in our society, without the rest of society being okay with it. So how do we deal with them? Well, if you want to go to the root of it, the first problem is we should take more of that managing and governing our lives on ourselves, but we're not going to do that. So let's move on. The problem with the ruling class is that there is no counterbalance. There's no one demanding of them anything. We're just kind of going along and complaining. Complaining is not demanding. Complaining is complaining. And if you don't do anything different, the ruling class is just going to believe, or just going to think, hey, this is what these people want. They accepting it. We'll just keep doing it. And they haven't had anyone demand anything from them in like 50, 60 years. The last time anybody really, in a social way, demanded something from the ruling class was when the Black Panthers were saying we need social medicine, we need community schools, community policing, and that means they did it. Protest is organized complaining. Doing something is making a demand. So, you want to make a demand on economics? You say, we're not going back to work. And a lot of people did this. So, I got to say, again, since 2020, things have changed. If you work from home remote, you say, I'm not traveling to work anymore. Period. We're not doing it. But you have to get together, you have to do it, you have to say, no, we're not doing it. And in New York City, that happened too. So, for the first time in like 50, 60 years, we're actually making demands. We are protesting too. Complaining about trying to unionize for Amazon, just say, nah, we're not going to work for you. Not only are we not going to work for you, we're going to build another version of that. So you can order stuff from China. You can order goods from China. You can order. So my thing is, if you have a stable apartment, stable house, why don't you have a dollar store in your house? You don't need Dollar Tree. You can have a dollar store in your house. You get them same goods delivered to your house. You complain about the businesses in the neighborhood. Why don't you have a bodega in your house? I used to see children on the train selling candy. The Mexicans took it over from the black kids now. All I see is Mexicans, but they're children now. I used to see black teenagers, and I always thought, I don't want to take my money out on the train. Why aren't they selling it from the apartment so that we can go to the apartment on the way to school, on the way to work, on the way to, and get our candy, snacks, gum, whatever. Once I lived in Queens and Far Rockaway, and there was this kid who would come around and knock on the doors and sell candy, and I always bought for him. Even if I didn't want it, I would just buy it from him and take it, or just give him the money and say thanks. But I think the neighbors started complaining. It was a private building. Some of the apartments were co-ops and some were rentals. We were renting and they were complaining. And I never got the kid's apartment. I would have went to his apartment and got it from him. But I think his parents, they might not even renew their lease, because they used to do that in this building. They didn't like you. They didn't renew your lease. They didn't care. So that might have happened. But I always wondered why we didn't do that more. That's what it would take. So when you're dealing with the ruling class, it's easy. You have to do things. You have to say, we're not doing that. We're doing this. And the ruling class will organize around you. Of course, the ultimate answer is just start governing yourself. Pull your children out of school. We're going to talk about that next. That's going to be on the next one. But yeah, so that's how you deal with the ruling class. That's how you fix the ruling class. So I gave you 2 answers. Until next time, take care, be safe, and remember, click the links if you want more information. You want to go to my school, the Conderson Center, you want to check out my store, you can check it out. Take care, be safe.